I'm Forrest Tanaka. I'm going to give you a tour of a brand new website that I launched just a couple of weeks ago for a voice actor in San Francisco named Peter Barto. So let's take a look. This is his homepage, and I really wanted it to stand out. There are quite a few voice actors in the San Francisco Bay Area, and so most of them have fairly similar style websites, and I wanted Peter to look totally different. So here's a site with a lot of negative space, and just his name and title, right smack in the middle. And I think this really catches your eye. And he's got a tagline here, and also at the bottom, these social buttons, so that anyone who likes his work can click either these Facebook buttons or the Google Plus button. And that'll help promote Peter on those people's Google Plus or Facebook pages. And here we have his main menu bar, and you can see these 4 items. And I'm using a little animation here using the jQuery JavaScript library. It gives it a little more polished look. Now for a voice actor, the most important thing is his voice, of course. And so his website needs to have a place where people can listen to his voice and see if he's right for them. In a lot of cases, and in fact in Peter's older site, people just link to MP3s, and that's not so great because then when you click on those, it brings up this whole new web page that's totally blank except for an MP3 player in the middle. It's not really the coolest thing. Another way people do it a lot is through flash players, and they're nicely done. Problem is, on the most popular mobile devices in the world, which is the iPhones and iPads, flash players don't work. And personally, I don't really like Adobe Flash because it's just so cumbersome. It puts a lot of load on the CPU. And there's better alternatives. And let's take a look at one of those better alternatives. Let's look at its clients/samples page. You can see on the left side are some of the videos that Peter has lent his voice to. And on the right are audio samples, mostly from radio spots. And here are the player controls, the video and audio. And the nice thing here is that they work anywhere, any browser, Mac, Windows, and mobile devices. Let's take a look, in fact, at his Monterey Bay Aquarium voiceover.
At the Monterey Bay Aquarium, there's something in the water. Share the love.
And let's look at an audio sample. Here's his Harley-Davidson Museum audio tour.
Hey, welcome to Harley-Davidson Museum Stories, an antenna audio tour. Before going through the doors.
So, of course, that works great on a desktop device, but what about a mobile device, like this iPhone? Well, you can see the page looks a little different. This is a slightly responsive website. I'm not a big fan of sites that redesign themselves totally, depending on, various different widths that you have the site displayed in. But in this case, the player was a little hard to use unless on a phone, unless you modify it to make it take up more of the page. So that's why it looks different, and the videos are just in the center, and the audios come below instead of to the right. So let's take a look. Actually, I want it this way. Let's take a look at the Monterey Bay Aquarium spot.
Share the love at montereybayaquarium.org/love. At the Monterey Bay Aquarium, there's something in the water. Share the love at montereybayaquarium.org.
So that works really well. And if we go down to his audio samples, let's try this bank radio spot.
Welcome to Big Bank National.
Hi, I need a home equity line of credit.
Super. We offer subprime rates. Offer not valid during day or night.
Did you just say the offer wasn't valid during day or night?
So, really cool. The same software that lets you hear audio or video on the desktop also works on a mobile device. And I think pretty much every mobile device, or all the major ones today anyway. So that's why I chose that particular solution. It's called JPlayer. That's a JavaScript library. And it's a little bit difficult to skim. In other words, design. Here I designed these controls. It's a little bit tedious, but it's a really nice environment that works everywhere. So that's why I chose it. And let's see. Let's look at his demo page. And here are a couple other demos, audio demos. Let's listen to one.
Hi, I'm Pete Barto, and so are these guys.
Whoa, that's rich! I love it! Funny!
And again, this works on an iPhone, iPad, Android, any device. You can see below here some samples of his past work in this pretty cool little slideshow. I thought would be pretty eye-catching. And you can see that he's worked on things like video games, cartoons, and various other things that have ended up in either TV or radio, or games, of course. And he's got a couple of other pages. This page is one that describes himself. Nice thing about it is he can change the text himself, because this site is based on WordPress. Now, WordPress, of course, is blogging software, and yet on this site, there's no blog. And the reason I still use WordPress is because WordPress is a really nice infrastructure to base a website on. It makes the site much easier to maintain, and it's really simple to customize. I mean, you can think of this website as what WordPress calls a theme. But themes not only govern how it looks, but also how it works. And I think WordPress is really great because it lets a web designer, web developer, really focus on the development, where some other content management systems are a little bulky, and so the developer really has to concentrate on just fitting into those environments. WordPress, you of course have to learn some, but it really gets out of the way, and I really like it. In fact, pretty much every website I design, whether it has a blog or not, for the past year and a half or so, they're all based on WordPress. I really love it. The last page here is a contact page. You can either go contact his agency, or this form. You can contact Peter directly. And this uses a WordPress plugin. Now, the SEO, or search engine optimization, is really important nowadays. It's easy to overdo it. I believe in just being honest, but to provide enough keywords for Google to grab onto for people who are really interested in what people like Peter have to offer. And so each title of each of his pages is unique, and Google likes that. And also, if we look at the source code, this is the HTML for his site. You'll see I've set. That's a little hard to find here, so we'll have description. So this is a tag that Google looks for, and Bing, which Google and Bing are really they cover over 90% of the search market. And so those are basically the only two that matter nowadays. They both look for this meta description. And so each one on each page is unique again, and both Google and Bing like that. And I expect that, this is a brand new site, so it's still not ranking very highly. But I expect over the next year or so, by summer of next year, I'd be disappointed if this site didn't show up on page 1 for search like voice actor San Francisco. So I think he should do really well compared to his competition. Again, it takes time, but I think it really pays off to do it this way. And of course the text on his pages is designed with that in mind. I did do keyword analysis to compare with his competitors, and found that these words that I chose for his titles and descriptions and his content should really get him up there, eventually. So that was Peter's website, and I hope you liked it. Now, if you're interested in having me design and implement a website for you, just contact me at the email address below, and I'd love to talk to you about it. Websites for businesses and personal sites are really important nowadays, and I can help you get there. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll talk to you later.